If you're ashamed of your background and how you grew up and you're feeling super insecure, this video is for you. I grew up selling food with my mom, and we used to live underneath the stairs of our apartment because we couldn't afford to pay rent. And I couldn't even afford to pay a $20 bus fare to get myself to school. Now, I have my own apartment, I own my own car, and I graduated from USC with my bachelor's and master's, all because I owned up who I was and built that confidence. And in this video, I will show you how to do that. Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luis, and today we're going to be talking about how to build confidence when you grew up poor. Number one, you have to get rid of all the shame that you have in order to be truly confident. Shame is a really deep-rooted form of fear. Because when you're ashamed, you're fearful of how other people are going to perceive you. And our society has created such a negative stigma around being poor and making people feel ashamed of that. And you're ashamed because you fear people judging you for who you are and what your circumstances are. But in order to be truly confident, you have to be not afraid to ask for help and not be ashamed of your circumstances. That is what true confidence really is having that confidence of being able to not be afraid of asking for help. I remember when I was in high school, I had this really shitty laptop that my parents had bought me for $50 at a garage sale. And that laptop got me through so many times during middle school and high school. But then at one point, it just stopped working and I needed a new laptop. But I was so ashamed that I couldn't afford a new laptop that I kept for a while, like not being able to get something else or ask for help or find resources that people that could help me. And because of that, I kept having this shitty computer that would take so many hours just to be able to print or load something on the internet. And I could, in my mind, I really said, when you hit rock bottom and you really have nothing, and you see everything as an opportunity. You really see things as an opportunity to be able to get something new or an opportunity to grow. And I had nothing to lose. I was either going to be stuck with a shitty computer or there's a potential opportunity that something can happen. And once I was able to get away from my shame and being shameful of my background, I asked for help. And someone helped me and got me my laptop. My laptop that I got in high school that got me through and allowed me to apply for scholarships that eventually compounded into me being able to get to college. To be truly confident is to remove all shame that you have and be able to ask for help. Because with help, that's how you move up. That's how you move forward. Number two, you have to embrace of where you come from. When I was growing up, I grew up very poor, like I had mentioned. And one of the things that I was so ashamed about was where I lived. Because I grew up around super rich kids and I grew up in a very poor neighborhood, and I often would lie to them. I would lie about them where I actually was from. And that being able to lie to myself just made me feel so ashamed of what I was and what was my abilities. I would even go as far to tell them to drop me off at the next grocery store right near my house because I didn't want them to know where I lived. I didn't want them to know where I was coming from because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be like pitied or all these different things. And I kept digging myself into a hole. And I became so ashamed of myself that I even hid good parts about my identity, about where I come from and the neighborhood, because my neighborhood was only labeled ghetto because poor people lived there. But people there were so focused on community. We would help each other out. They were some of the hardest workers that I've ever met in that neighborhood. But because I was so ashamed of myself, I couldn't really get that empowerment from my neighborhood because I wanted to remove myself from it completely. And it wasn't until college when I finally was able to be honest with myself and say, hey, this is where I come from. My mom is a cook. My dad is a cook. Like, this is my background. And once I started accepting myself for my actual reality and my circumstances and my background, I felt so empowered. I felt so good about myself because I was not ashamed and hiding. I was not wasting energy on living two lives. I was fully myself and I was able to really be proud of what I am. And the thing that you learn, that when people start shaming you for that and from your roots, then you can cut them off. It's so easy to cut people off once you know their true colors. And it feels so empowering when you're able to just show them your culture. Like, I was bringing them to eat tortas to the lady that sold it next door, and they were like, dude, this is the best fucking food that we've ever seen on like we've ever tasted. And that was like the most empowering thing, because I went in and everything and I was like, this is who I am, this is what I bring, and I'm proud of it. Number 3, no one likes a complainer, everyone loves an underdog. Complaining is such a repulsive energy that you have to remove it from yourself. Imagine you're at a restaurant and everyone knows the food is shitty. Yes, but the people that complain the most about that food, people are not going to like the person because they're constantly complaining and complaining and complaining. And it's such a repulsive energy that you don't even want to be around them. That even though the food is shitty, the person is shittier. So you don't want to surround yourself around them. I could have easily said, I'm poor, I can't do this. I can't afford that. I can't do this. I could have literally said, I'm too poor that I can't even afford to go to school. And that could have been my reality. I could have never graduated from USC with the 2 degrees fully paid for if I had that mindset. But I used my story and my background to be resilient, to be powerful, and I owned up to it. And I was like, I'm poor, but I'm also resourceful. I'm poor, but I'm also intelligent. I'm poor and I'm confident. I'm poor and I can do anything I want, because people love to bet on underdogs. And as I was going through applying for colleges and I was applying for jobs, I always use my background to show this is what I can contribute. Even if you just give me an opportunity, even if you do this, I can do it because I've been able to do so many good things with what little I have. You know how much power there is in someone that's able to show, wow, I did something so amazing with very little. Because people will see, wow, imagine this kid if he had all the resources and all the opportunities to be able to be even better. That is so powerful. I was operating at such a small level with what I had, and I could have been operating even higher if I had the resources. And I was able to accomplish so much because I was able to use my story as a way, as a tool to be powerful. Because true confidence comes not from faking it, but owning your own story and owning up to your background. People that are the most confident are the ones that are able to own up to who they are truly. That's why people, like when you see gay people, they are the most confident people because they're so proud of themselves. You see a woman that knows that they who they are and their story, and they are super confident. It's not they're faking it. It's just they own up to who they are. I used to be so ashamed also of being like a morenito because I was like ashamed of it. And I was like, whoa, this doesn't. But then I started realizing, I was like, wow, I'm so happy that I was blessed with this skin, because this skin is so beautiful and it's so powerful that I can wear certain clothing that people with lighter skin can't wear. And the more I embrace who I was and my own story and my own upbringings and my own background, the more powerful I became and got whatever I want. And that's what people gravitate towards. That's what gives you confidence. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned something and you're able to really feel empowered with your own story. Take time to reflect and really become a baddie, because anyone, despite their backgrounds, can become confident. and use your background and your experiences to make you even more confident. Well, thanks again. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.